And yes, as the last year, as I was saying, we have this
recording in progress.
Yes, the last year we have this effort of the Youth Coalition on Internet Governance and the Youth Special Interest Group for Internet Society in creating this introductory webinar about the IGF 22 to see how what the things are going, how are the next steps in terms of the intersectional work of the IGF and in terms of the other works that is happening at that level. And yes, this year we are repeating the experience of the last year in terms of involving more youth participants to the Internet Governance Forum process, and then to co-create and at the end create different working groups for each of the topics that are the most important for this year. And yes, so if we could go to the next slide, please. Okay, so we will follow these 4 different steps. At first, we will have this introduction from the youth steering group on the Youth Coalition on Internet Governance, also a steering group of the Youth SIG, or the standing group this year, because from 2022 for the future is considered a permanent group in the Internet Society. Then at the index 2, we will follow in a little of conversation about what is happening, what is the IGF, right? And what is the IGF 2022 hybrid meeting happening this year. Then on the part 3, we will follow up with some breakout rooms per topic. So keep attentive on the thematic for this year. There are 5, and you can be more aligned with your background if you are a student in a university, or if you are an empowered fellow or youth that aim to participate more at this internet governance field. You know that is very open. We will talk later about that. So you can join the breakout room or the working group that you most suit. For that, you in that part of this meeting, you will need to go to the Zoom menu and select breakout rooms, and you can join whatever breakout room you suit, think you can propose your sessions, or you can help with supporting. And yes, that will be the way. And you can, if not comfortable or want to know about another breakout room happening, you can just select another one in the Zoom tool and navigate. And then in the final part, we will answering some questions and doubts you could have about this process. And yes, we are very eager to you to participate. So if we can go to the next slide. I think that now the YouthSG group will be presented by João. So the floor is yours, João.
Hello, everybody. My name is João. I am here representing the Youth Standing Group and Youth Observatory. We are an organization formed by mostly young people and have about 1,800 members. So we are from all over the world, and this is an initiative focused on increasing the participation of young people in the discussion spaces on internet governance at a global level. It was formally established in October of 2015 as the Youth Observatory, and it has been officially recognized by the Internet Society as a special interest group in 2016. In 2022, the Internet Society passed a resolution to assign a permanent status to the group. So it has taken the name of Youth Standing Group. You can see in the pictures that these are our board directors for the 22 and 23 terms.
Okay, so you also need to know about us, the Youth Coalition on Internet Governance. Well, the Youth Coalition on Internet Governance is one of the dynamic coalitions for the youth, recognized by the IGF. among other 20 dynamic coalitions are existing in the IGF field. This dynamic coalition is open to young from 18 to 35-year-old. We receive members from around the world. Basically, we have a steering committee with 5 representatives based on the 5 United Nations regional groups. Shena is our representative from the Asia part, Asia Pacific. I am the representative of Latin America and the Caribbean. Then Mauricia is a representative of the whole African region. Then we have Emilia, that is known as the organizer from last year from the Youth Summit. She is working with us in the Eastern Europe part of the Youth Coalition. And then Daphne from the Netherlands is working with the Western Europe and other regions group of the Youth Coalition. And well, we are a very active coalition since 2010, and we advocate for the voice of the children, basically, and the young people and young professionals in Internet Governance Forum and related workshops and processes, right? And particularly at the annual Internet Governance Forum, the YCIG is the natural space for youth interested in Internet governance related issues at the IGF, and our group as a platform for engaging with all stakeholders on equal footing, that we are trying to achieve, right? And to amplify the youth voices, to be heard by the, we always say that the youth are the most that uses the technology and the internet specifically. As you know, the 70% of the internet users are young people, right? In these terms of until 35-year-olds. And well, this for the Youth Coalition part, I think that now we are entering in the second part of this webinar. So João, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Nicolás. Yeah, so what we can expect about the IGF 2022. The IGF will have its 17th annual meeting, and it will take place in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in a hybrid format under the overarching theme, Resilient Internet for a Shared, Sustainable, and Common Future. The event will take place from 28th of November to 2 of December. I brought these two graphs to show the reach and importance of the IGF for you. Here we can see that there are thousands of participants and they are actually very diverse. So it's a very interesting and important place to be there. Well, since the second edition, the event has online participation, and since the start of the pandemic, the online participation became even more important. Traditionally, there is a youth section called the Youth Summit. This meeting connects people from around the world that are participating at the IGF. Emilia organized, as Nicolás said, the last years, and it was awesome. So we are seeking to cooperate with Ethiopian organization to maintain the Youth Summit. As youth, it is very important to us to make our voices heard in the annual meeting, and that is why the YouthSG and YouthSG joined to create working groups for submitting sessions proposals. Yeah, this is why we are here.
Exactly, João, thank you so much. And yes, as we are going into this process, it's important to know the issues-driven way of the IGF to do things. So the IGF picked a cluster of issues as this year of the IGF in order to always contribute to the ongoing IGF evolution, right? And to the strengthening this approach of this program. And well, this idea of the bottom-up characteristic, right? And as you know, IGF is a non-binding process. This means that there is no responsibility for the governments or actors that are there to complain or to things, but just a discussion about the issues, right? So this could be directed and is supposed to be done by a different frameworks that are proposed with the digital cooperation from the last year and now with the digital compact for this year, that these messages, these policy messages, for example, that occurred at the Youth Summit level were driven into more governmental level or all stakeholders to be involved, right? And that this is something important because this year is an articulation of the future that will be enabling a wider approach with more audiences participating and really advocating for what the future on the IGF will need to be. And well, as João said, today we will focus on these workshop proposals that are for the global level of the IGF. As a comment and repeating this, we are recording the main introductory session, but these breakout rooms will not be recorded. So in order to have a more informal conversation about the topic with all the youth involved and interested, I hear some noise there, if the organizers could. And then, yes, for this year, I think we could go to the next slide. João, please. When João will be explaining a little about the different things happening at the IGF level. It's not only about an annual meeting, but a full intersessional process. So please, João.
Yeah, thank you, Nicolás. The IGF is a meeting, but it holds a lot of more bunch of organizations to better improve their outcomes. So there is the thematic intersessional work, and inside of the IGF structures, there are three main structures to improve this work. The best practice forums that are spaces to facilitate the dialogue in a certain topic, or as a result, it produces best practices documents. There are also the dynamic coalitions, and these groups are created to better develop some subject which could not be fully worked inside the workshops. And there is also the policy networks that there are recent structure created to create policy documents at the end. So all this intersessional work has 2 years mandates, and we encourage everyone to search for them and join what you think it's interesting.
Yes, I have one comment there. The policy networks are groups of people that are working voluntarily to review policy documents and things related with major topics. And from the last years, there we as you know, last year topic was one of the topics was this thing about meaningful connectivity and universal access. And well, this policy network is like the effort of the last year in terms of that, and in trying to define what is, and they have some internet measurements or somewhat about connectivity, but other things like the digital skills necessary to be there. Well, it's an interest policy network, I could tell you. Yesterday they have the first call and was very interesting. And yes, the other one is the policy network on internet fragmentation, since all the things that have happening in the beginning of this year. Well, all these discussions about the fragmentations of the internet as a thing. And yes, it will be focused this year on that. And then the BPFs, the best practice forums, as João said, that were this year, that maintain this year because they have some guidelines for work. Yes, there are the gender and the digital rights one and the cybersecurity ones. And for the dynamic coalitions, yes, they are diverse. You can join the mailing list and participate, and there are very specific working groups there. So yes, we could go for the next slide, when I will just mention what are the 5 topics of this year. We are very happy to see these topics. You know that at the multi-stakeholder advisory group level, There is a group of people designated by the United Nations, and together with the Secretariat and with a lot of intersectional and involving national and regional initiatives, groups, they define these thematic areas for the year. And it's about governing data and protecting privacy, one of the topics. Another one is addressing advanced technologies, including artificial intelligence, but others like blockchain, etc. Other one is connecting all people and safeguarding human rights, that more connected with the issue of the meaningful access and universal connectivity. And then the issue of avoiding internet fragmentation, like the one, also the policy network happening at the same time. And then the enabling safety, security, and accountability that not only includes the security part, but another things that we will be talking about then. So now we're going to describe a little more. Each of the working group leaders or facilitators will be explaining more about each of these topics. And then we start with the breakout rooms. So be prepared yourself to hear what these topics are about, and take a look at what your background is and how what way you think you can participate with this session, discussions, or topic interested things. So the floor is yours, the facilitators, Benjamin, Mohammad, and Daphne.
Hi, everybody. So this thematic area concerns the coding of data and protection privacy. So you all know that privacy and data is a big concern in today's big data and data-driven infrastructure. So the thing that we want to cover is like perhaps on the technology side, like how to regulate big data and how to regulate the cross-border data flows. Because, for example, we have data regulations in certain regions, certain countries, but it isn't present in other countries. And internet being very decentralized and international infrastructure, there is a lot of cross-border transfer of data. So that is a big concern. So we will also be talking about that. And then our data privacy and protection, like how do we make sure that the data remains private? And I know these discussions have been going on for quite a long time now, but there is still a lot of work to be done. And then we will also be looking into data services and finally the regulation part as well. So a more elaborate explanation will be given in the working group itself. But if you are interested in this thematic area, please consider joining the working group, and we'll have a good discussion later on. Thank you. We can move to the next slide.
Excellent.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here, and nice to see so many young people joining this call. My name is Veronica. I'm chair of the Youth Standing Group of ISOC, and I'm going to briefly present the working group on addressing advanced technology, including AI, which is one of the main thematic, the main topic of this year IGF, of the 2022 IGF. And it basically revolves around the advantages and disadvantages of the new technologies across diverse areas and beyond, also beyond communication. Let's think of healthcare, legal services, finance, insurance, and so on. Technology such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, augmented reality are implemented in sectors that are mainly market-driven and dominated by the private sector, which means they are designed to maximize profits. So this is very important this year to discuss about emerging technology, because multi-stakeholder dialogue and cooperation is very important to ensure that human rights are taken into consideration, and then the human-centric approach outbalance the whole profit mindset. So here I've listed the subtopics, which certainly include artificial intelligence, which has been a hot topic for a few years now, robotics, IoT, smart devices, blockchain, and augmented and virtual reality. We can infer that this subtopic also includes the metaverse and also quantum computing. But it also includes the subtopic also encompass the parameters they may be taken into consideration, like the human rights, and I would also add environmental sustainability and the policy initiatives, regulation and self-regulation. So if you have a background or an understanding of one or two of these topics, you can join this working group later. I leave the floor to the next group.
I don't know if Emilia or...
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon from Nigeria. I'm Emmanuel. I'll be working in the working group on avoiding internet fragmentation. In this working group, which is one of the topical thematic areas for the IGF, we're looking at the open internet and how it's important to safeguard properties that ensure that the internet is a universal, open, global resource that connects everyone without barriers and without friction at any points, especially as it moves from one jurisdiction to another. We're looking at interoperability and the importance of ensuring that everything that runs on the internet is able to interact and communicate with each other. We're looking at internet shutdowns and the menace of regulatory and policy empowered action by governments around the world to shut down the internet for various purposes, and how all of these can be avoided or advocated against in various sectors across fronts. Content blocking, which is a form of censorship that ensures that that are adjudged to be against extreme narrative of a ruling class or a ruling party is not allowed to be on the internet or is outlawed in certain jurisdictions. We're looking at the DNS, which is the translator system that enables all of us to use the internet easily and seamlessly. We're looking at internet exchange points, IXPs, which also enables exchange of data across jurisdiction, exchange of internet, interconnects various regions and countries of the world into an internet that unites everyone. We're looking at the internet protocol upon that facilitates everything that goes on the internet. Now we're talking about the splinternet, which is one form of or one growing popularity, one area of growing popularity that we have seen governments trying to take control of internet within their jurisdictions and then centralizing and consolidating the nature of traffic that they want to be seen by their citizens, how it will be seen by their citizens, and how traffic from their citizens is seen and perceived by the outside world or the external internet. And so in this working group, we'll be looking at all of these focal points. And if you are interested in joining in this work, we invite you to join the working group on avoiding internet fragmentation. Thank you. I would yield the floor back to the next working group.
Thank you, Emmanuel. If you want to start, João, saying some of the topics, I could complement.
Okay, thank you, Nicolás. Yeah, so I and Nicolás will be in charge of the discussions today. And well, the main topics are about cybersecurity practices, cyber attacks, and cyber conflict, so we can try to understand and to better improve what can we do about the constantly evolving internet ecosystem and how to secure them. Because when we brought a lot of our lives to the internet, these parts should be also protected. So the child online safety needs to be addressed because of mainly because of the pandemic. A lot of children had to use the internet in an unattended way to participate at their classes. And we also, here in Brazil, we need to fight disinformation because we will have an election this year. So there are very hot topics, and I hope to see a lot of you in some minutes.
Exactly. I want to add that last year there was a trust, security, and stability working group. And I think this is an evolving thing that contains more than that. Also the cybersecurity practices on the standards and protocols on the policy making side, the procurement side also, and the digital skills about the security, but also maybe cyber attacks and cyber conflicts that we have here. Different things like the lethal autonomous weapon systems or things like that that are related with the cyber conflicts also. And then about the child online safety, as you say, like all the things with the Zoom bombing, with the things that happen at the school level. What about the IT groups at high schools or things in managing that? And well, the issue of disinformation, as I am hearing these days about this Elon Musk and Twitter thing, we all are hearing about this content moderation or disinformation also campaigns, as João mentioned, could be also on this thing because it's related with the safety or the security of these systems at the end. And then all about harmful content and illegal content because of the moderation of the platforms. And then the trust and accountability measurements that it seems to be like, for example, what happened with the quantum computers evolving, and we need to have that into account, how to maybe the artificial intelligence algorithms that in terms of safety itself, how they are accountable, how they are explainable, right? That things could fit also in this working group, I think. Very happy to hear more interested in our working groups to join. So we have the last one.
Great. There we go. Thank you. I was waiting for my slide. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone on the call. My name is Mauricia Abdul Tshilunda, and I am based in Cape Town, South Africa. And we are going to focus in our working group on connecting all people and safeguarding human rights. Really excited to be welcoming everyone interested in this topic to our working group and engaging more with you. We will also have co-facilitators in our group. Jenna will be joining us, as well as Shraddha. So you will meet them when you join our group for our discussion, where essentially we want to hear your thoughts, so it will be quite engaging. Just very important about connecting all people and safeguarding of human rights. I wanted to highlight the fact that, remember, or for those who don't know, the UN Secretary General's proposed Global Digital Compact actually has its first principle to connect all people to the internet, and this includes all schools, right? And essentially this recognizes that internet connectivity and access have become prerequisites, right, for ensuring our livelihoods, our safety, and our education of our people across the globe. Also that the internet in schools will provide crucial points of access, make informational resources available to all of the learners, and will build literally digital literacy from the early stages of life, which is essential so that you don't have what we currently have in South Africa, young people going to university and experiencing computers for the first time. What we face the world over is also the fact that there are still 2.9 billion people that remain unconnected, right? With these number being most predominant in our least developed countries and in the rural communities across the globe. So when we enter our working group today, we will kind of break down these themes, right, that we can really hone in on when we address this issue of connecting all people and safeguarding our human rights across the globe as it pertains to the internet. And the issues that we can focus on are the themes that include is like access and connectivity, accessibility, community networks, capacity development, education, libraries, and the list goes on and on, as you can see on the slide. So we welcome you to our working group. We're very excited to hear your thoughts and talk to you soon. Thank you.
Excellent. So now it's time for the breakout rooms. I will activate that. But first, some clarifications. You can join the breakout room via the Zoom option under the screen. And then you can join whatever breakout room from what you hear before you want to join with your ideas. And we will be working on different documents and proposals. And yes, some clarifications. Yes, we will go until 55, so 20 minutes for this activity, and then we will return to the main session. I will activate a 1 minute counter, and then I'll return to the main session at 55, 56 for the closure of the meeting. Thank you so much, and please join the breakout rooms you would like to work on. the breakout rooms. Hope you have had very interesting discussions and had time to hear some ideas. I don't know if you would like to summarize what the breakout rooms, or just if some participants have questions or doubts about the process, please go ahead. You can raise your hands. Yes, Daphne, please go ahead.
Great. First of all, it's great to see everyone's faces and so many familiar faces as well. So that's great. And I just wanted to say that it was already a very fruitful discussion, because I think we came up with some great ideas. But the time was very limited, so I'm looking forward to continuing the discussion in the breakout rooms and the Telegram groups, and to come up with some great proposals, so that when we either attend the IGF in person or online, we can see a lot of youth-led sessions. So that's all.
Yes, hopefully. We will see a lot of sessions. We have some good ideas. And yes, please, all, I think you all have the Telegram groups links shared in your breakout rooms. If not, you have it now in the chat. Thank you, Paola, so much. And then we will send another communication with the recording of this meeting. And then you can join the working groups after this call at your own pace. Please share it on your groups of youth interested in participate these activities and propose topics for this year. And yes, please, if you have another hand, we could close in 3 minutes. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so thank you so much. I think this was a wonderful meeting and full of expectations and motivation for this year. And yes, that as we always say, that we replicate this word from the last steering committees, that maintain the youth power, you know, like you have a voice and every voice counts, and especially in the Internet Governance Forum, because this is an open space for discussion mainly. As we said in the beginning of the session, the youth is the user that most uses the internet at the end. So they need to have a voice and count and the leaders to hear what are their thoughts and necessities in order to reach global consensus. That is what we are trying to do right now. So thank you so much, everyone. I don't know if you have some final remarks. Veronica, Mauricia, Umut, Elisa, all the organizing team. We could have 2 or 3 more minutes if you want.
Yes, I just would like to thank you everybody for joining this call and for contributing to the working groups. The work is going to move into the respective Telegram channels, and we are also going to share also our contacts, and you know, for joining the YCIG and the Youth Standing Group channels if you want to, you know, stay engaged with us as a community.
Absolutely. Veronica has covered it all perfectly. I'm excited to engage with you on the call, and thank you so much for joining today. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.